welcome to my channel and welcome back to my second Bake With Me. This time we are going St. Patrick's Day style. I'm going to be bringing you two St. Patrick's Day recipes. One that is super easy, kid-friendly, and then one that is rich and decadent and delicious, perfect for you chocolate lovers. So if you want to see the two bakery items that I came up with for my second ever Bake With Me, St. Patrick's Day style, then all you have to do... So the first St. Patrick's Day recipe that we're going to make is Lucky Charm squares. Super excited for these. They are very similar to Rice Krispie treats, but with the Lucky Charms twist, which is the epitome of St. Patrick's Day. So here are the ingredients that are in our Lucky Charm squares. You're going to need a box of Lucky Charms, marshmallows, vanilla extract, and light butter. So let's get started. So the first step for our Lucky Charm squares is we need to measure out a total of 6 cups of Lucky Charms, 4 and 2. Now this is the fun part. We are going to separate out the marshmallows from the Lucky Charms cereal. This is optional, but the bars look better if you actually sprinkle the Lucky Charms into the bars and then put your little marshmallows on top. So I'm going to separate out the marshmallows into a separate bowl. So I'm going to just dump in my Lucky Charms, separate out my marshmallows, and keep my cereal in one bowl and my marshmallows in another. Once you've separated out your marshmallows from your cereal, you're just going to set those aside. I've added 3 tablespoons or 42 grams of, I can't believe it's not butter light. Again, this is the butter that I'm using. And then I have 4 cups of mini marshmallows that I'm going to add to this bowl. And then we are going to put this in the microwave until our butter and marshmallows are all nice and combined. You're going to put your bowl of marshmallows in the microwave at 1-minute bursts until your marshmallows are fully melted into your butter. I am going to go ahead and add just a little bit of vanilla extract, about a teaspoon. And then I'm going to pop this back into the microwave. Once your marshmallows have melted down with your butter, you're going to add your 4 cups of Lucky Charms cereal into that. Give that a good mix until your cereal is coated with your butter and marshmallow mixture, just like you would if you were using Rice Krispie treats. And this is actually what's going to form the Rice Krispie square of your treat. So get that nice and mixed in the best that you can. And then we're just going to add our mixture to a 9x13 greased pan. Make sure that your pan is nice and greased before you add in your cereal treats. So add those directly to your 9x13. And then we're going to spread these out as even as possible before we top them with our marshmallows. So you just want to get those nice and spread out in the bottom of your pan, and then you'll top them with your marshmallows. Once you have your cereal mixture spread out evenly in the bottom of your pan, this is where we are going to add in all of our fun marshmallows right on top. Now, if you choose not to separate your marshmallows, they would just be kind of intermixed in your Rice Krispie squares. But I actually like, I shouldn't say Rice Krispie squares, right? Lucky Charm squares. I actually like the marshmallows a little bit better on top. I think that those kind of fun colors of the marshmallows make the top of your Rice Krispie, oh my gosh, I keep wanting to say that, your Lucky Charm squares a little more fun and a little more St. Patrick's Day-esque. And I noticed that there are quite a few of my little hats in my marshmallows, so that makes me excited. So you're just going to kind of take those marshmallows, push them down, make sure that they adhere nice to your cereal treats, and then you're going to put this in the fridge for about an hour or so until they're hard, and then we will cut them up into squares. I will show you a serving as well as the points, but these look delicious. So here are our completed Lucky Charms crispy squares. Look at how delicious these look. This is a good size. I went ahead and cut mine into 18 squares so that they would be a reasonable amount of Smart Points. And you can have one of these squares for only 4 Smart Points. That's a pretty good size square for only 4 Smart Points. It is so good. I did try a little bit. These are amazing. These are better than Rice Krispie treats. I would highly recommend putting your marshmallows on top. I think that that definitely makes them look more appealing, and the flavor is so good with those marshmallows on top. So Lucky Charms squares are a perfect treat for St. Patrick's Day. They are also super fun for you to make with your kids. So definitely a kid-friendly recipe. So I would recommend giving this a shot for this year's St. Patrick's Day. The second St. Patrick's Day recipe that I'm going to share with you, I'm so excited about this. I had to do a lot of tweaking, a lot of entering and re-entering in the recipe builder to get these to a reasonable Smart Points because they are loaded with all of the goodiness of real sugar and real treats. So here is what we're making. We are doing Thin Mint Fudge Brownies. Thin Mint Fudge Brownies. Sounds amazing. So let me show you what is in our brownies. You're going to need a box of sugar-free brownie mix, some water, applesauce, and eggs. That is to create the brownies based on the box directions. You're going to need some fat-free sweetened condensed milk, some marshmallow cream, mint extract, mint cookies. I'm going to go ahead and use these Oreo thins. I did just measure out what I wanted, gave the rest away. I can't believe it's not butter light. Green sprinkles if you choose, and green food coloring, and then white chocolate chips. Yum. Let's get started on our Thin Mint Fudge Brownies. So the first thing that we need to do is prepare our brownie mix. So I have emptied my sugar-free brownie mix into my bowl here, and to that I'm going to add 1/3 cup of unsweetened applesauce, and that will take the place of the oil that the brownie mix calls for. And then I'm going to add in 3 tablespoons of water. And lastly, I am going to add in 1 egg. We will mix this all together and get this into our brownie pan. Once you have your brownie mix combined, you're going to go ahead and add that to your greased brownie dish. I'm going to use this glass dish here. I like the way that brownies cook a little bit better in a glass dish versus a metal dish. So I'm going to add my brownie mix. It's okay if this is thin because this is actually a layered brownie, so we want to make sure that it's not too thick, the brownie base. So don't panic if you feel like your brownies are going to be really thin. They won't once we add the rest of our ingredients. So you want to get your brownie mix nice and spread out into the bottom of your dish as even as possible. And again, I always do my trick where I take it and kind of tap it on the counter to get the brownie mix all nice and even. We're going to get these in the oven at 350 until they are completely cooked. And then we want to let them cool while we make the next layer of our Thin Mint Fudge Brownies. The next step for our brownies is we are going to get our sweetened condensed milk ready. I went ahead and modified the recipe. This is a total of 8 tablespoons of sweetened condensed milk. I lowered the amount to lower the Smart Points. And then I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of mint extract to my sweetened condensed milk. And then we are going to stir these two together. You can see that I went ahead and just put it into my saucepan only because we're going to go ahead and cook it down. So it'll save a dish if you just do it all right here in your saucepan. So you want to stir together your mint extract and your sweetened condensed milk. And then we are going to add in our chocolate chips. So here are the white chocolate chips. I decided to go with 12 tablespoons, again, to save on points. So this is not what the recipe calls for. I will list all of my modifications down below with the original recipe. And then lastly, I have 2 tablespoons of I Can't Believe It's Not Butter Light. So I'm going to go ahead and add that as well. And then this is going to go on the stove until it is melted completely. So here is my white chocolate chips, milk, mint extract, butter. We're going to get this melted down, and then we're going to add in our Puff marshmallow cream. I did go ahead and measure out 4 ounces of that as well, again, to modify the points. So I'm going to let this completely cook down until it is melted, and then we will add in our food coloring and our Jet Puff marshmallow cream. Once this is all melted down, we're gonna go ahead and add in our Jet Puff marshmallow. So this here is 4 ounces. We're gonna go ahead and add that to our pan, stir that down until melted, and then add our food coloring. Here's our 4 ounces of Jet Puff. And then here I just have some green food coloring. And we just want to add this just until our mix is the color of green that we want. So I'm going to start with a small amount, get it all mixed in. You can always go back and add a little bit more green. Once your mix is at your desired color, we're going to go ahead and add this to our cooled brownies. All right, so now we're gonna add this good stuff right over the top of our cooled brownies. Make sure that your brownies are most of the way cooled before you add on the mixture. This is going to be the next layer, so you wanna make sure that it's spread out nice and even. This looks so delicious. It smells really good. I can just smell that like faint hint of mint along with the creaminess of the white chocolate and the marshmallow. Looking good. So look at that. And then the last step is you're going to take your mint cookies. So what I did is crushed up 8 Oreo thins. And again, that is what gave me the amount of smart points I was looking for my brownies. You're going to kind of get those mixed up. And then we are simply going to just sprinkle those over the top. Look at this, you guys. Yummy. Okay, so we're going to sprinkle those nicely as evenly as possible over the top of our brownies. And then lastly, I'm going to go ahead and add some of my fun green sprinkles once we get all of the cookie crumbs on top. So you can always go with the original recipe or make any modifications that you want to make that better suits what you're looking for. But what I did is I tried to make it a reasonable amount of smart points for a treat. And in order to do that, I did have to adjust some of the really sweet stuff that goes into your brownies. But look at this. Yum. All right, last step. We're just going to add a little bit of our green sprinkles. So just shake on the amount of sprinkles that you want to add to the top of your brownies. You can't see them that well, but I think that it will add that nice kind of glazy, sugary coating. So there you go. There are our thin mint fudge brownies. We're going to put this in the fridge for about 4 hours. You can barely see the brownies down there until they are completely cooled through. Then I will cut them into what I figured for serving size and show you the serving size as well as the smart points. But these look delicious. And here is our thin mint fudge brownies, you guys. These look so good. These have to get out of my house. I'm going to be bringing them to work on Wednesday because I tasted these and these are decadence to the max. These are absolutely delicious. This is the size of the brownie. So this is the size of the brownie. I went ahead and cut mine into 18 servings so that I can take these to work and they're a little bit bigger in size. Each one of these brownies at 18 servings is 7 smart points. Not bad for a brownie. If you cut your pan into 24 servings, you can knock it down to 5 smart points. So that may actually be the way to go to lower the smart points. But like I said, I'm going to take these to work to get rid of them. So I wanted them to be a little bit bigger. But you guys, if you are going to a St. Patrick's Day, anything, make these thin mint fudge brownies. Thank you for joining me on my St. Patrick's Day edition of Bake With Me. I hope you enjoyed the 2 recipes. They were both so good, so good. Those brownies, you guys, are so rich and so delicious. I would recommend for us WW people to cut them into 24 servings just to lower the smart points to 5. Again, the only reason I cut them in the bigger servings was because I'm legit taking them all to work. I already ate one, which is 5 smart points that I shouldn't have spent, but it was so good. It was worth it. The Rice Krispies are, I don't know why I call them Rice Krispies. The Lucky Charm squares are really, really, really good. So I highly recommend those. If you're new to my channel, make sure that you subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you're notified every single time I upload a new video. Please give this video a thumbs up. Comment below. Let me know if you are going to take advantage of the 2 recipes that I shared for your St. Patrick's Day celebrations. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.